call me Fuego. 93 like me. Fire in the sheets, spending summers on the seas. Quedo, no way home. Better life on the day.
Locked and loaded, ready for the second game of the day, the final Miramar of the day. And these planes, not very nice. They're very, very far to the east. They've been really favoring this east side of the map, so it's making a little bit of challenge for the teams that want to go over to the western side.
Yeah, not bad for infantry though, and not bad either for OGN, Entus, and also Tianba. This time actually not going all the way towards the west, staying towards for the Paraíso. This time I think that's a smarter choice, knowing that no one else is actually on that spot at all.
Yeah, I think this is going to be interesting for infantry because they've been given not terrible circles, but you know, a lot of the circles have been eastern heavy, and when you're coming out of Impala, those are the circles you have to take advantage of because you are on a eastern coast, so you no matter what, you're often going to be playing from an edge-ish position, but they haven't really been able to do it so far, whereas some of these other teams like Tianba and Entus have.
If you get that somewhat eastern circle or from the central side, you can push into Bendita and make that slow away. But escaping out from Bendita can actually become a trap on your own. There's that code. Put him in as we're about to see some action from Pero again, diving into K7.
Wow, Pero loves to fight in these U-houses, although last time, you know, it was 2 of infantry. Now it's K7 trying to hold the line. The stuns are going to back it off. That's a not going to finish onto XPD. So the hero from the last round down already. Got another one. Mill is down as well, but he trades into Lockslot. Mamu's going to finish the job. Long DD comes around the corner, finds the backside of Savior. And that's an easy finish, but Buyo, who steps up, finishes off Mill. So 2 down here for Pero, and K7 has lost this compound. They do have Buyohu over on the side and the reinforcement from Zennon, although I don't know what there is left to reinforce here, Zennon. It's not looking good.
Yes, it's 4 a.m. They smell the blood. They want a piece of this blood right here at Pero. I think they are about to take a win in this duel, but depending on how aggressive Forever actually, they might bump in as Crazy. I think he does have a vehicle all the way out.
So this is pretty interesting from Pero. We've seen this 2 rounds in a row where they're just bombing at a compound that they know they have a numbers advantage on, and it goes meh. It's, you know, it's okay, you got the compound, but at what cost?
Yes, I believe, knowing after watching years of PUBG Esports, if you take the entire squad with a single member loss, that's okay. You can still go into the late game, but if you lose 2 or more, I don't think it's worth it at Circle 1, even into Phase 2.
There's not going to be a lot on the edges of that hillside that are going to see them, so they can go up to the hillside and put shots down on the teams that are down in that valley if they so choose. I don't know if they will or not. They might just try to hold the compound because there might be a couple teams that try to push in, and that's going to be priority number 1, I feel like. But we'll see how it plays out going forward. Tianba now is looking at Gen G's late rotation. Gen G wrapping all the way around to the south side of Hacienda del Patron, and that's going to be a knock here on the Loki from Lorena. The good shooting continues for Tianba.
Tianba actually made the later rotation into the eastern side, and Circle, luckily for them, shifted east, so they can actually have pretty good amount of space as they will look to come in and pressure into Genji a little bit further. We do see GEX getting a kill onto Griffin, I think. But the main story I think we want to follow a little bit more is on Genji at the same time.
Yeah, Lin Shun, look at this. Lin Shun has actually pushed down towards Gen G. I don't know if we're going to cut to that. GEX is still kind of do-si-doing with Griffin here, as Griffin's Asura does get a little bit ahead on the northern side of GEX, but the other 2 members, Min Sung and Juanita, are trailing, and I think Gen G is getting torn apart. They might actually just be getting bopped out of this round, getting bopped out of Miramar for the day. Pio and Anonix are alive. It looks like they're going for the res onto Loki. There's that Groza there for Pio, and now they're getting a little help from MCG, getting Lin Shun backed off, but in the next circle, it's most likely going to leave them, and it's going to be tough.
Yeah, MCG, getting those shots all the way from Patron. That's a pretty long shot, actually. Like Genji getting somewhat of a help. They actually focus fire, getting a knock there.
Oh my god, Detonation Gaming White. Oh, they're going to find the knock onto Anonix from C's. C's finds the back of the house, and Anonix isn't ready for it. He's going to go down. Now, there is the Groza here for Pio, and that is not a gun you want to see in the hands of this player if you are Detonation Gaming White. C's now checking the corners, watching to see if any member of Gen G accidentally comes out here, kind of overextends himself. Sometimes you'll see players just bolt around a corner because they think it's safe, but for now, you're not going to see that from Gen G.
Yeah, it has to be on to the side as you are still looking towards those potential shot from MCG. That's going to be the dangerous spot when they focus fire as Seal would come in, maybe going into the top.
Good grenades from Gen G. One on the bottom, one on the top to see if they can catch C's.
Loki heard him.
Yeah, oh, he gets PO, but it's going to be Loki who steps up, puts him in the ground, and Detonation Gaming White, after a really solid start to the day, go out in 15th place.
That was dangerous. If MGG takes him down, that's the end for Gen G. And Lynchun, he's not going too far away and says, okay, your tires are popped, you're trapped here, you can't go anywhere else, Gen G. You guys are going down right here, and we're taking the kill points.
Does he have a vehicle up here?
He ran here.
He ran here. That's weird, but it's going to work. Actually, because of the control that M200 has over on the eastern side outside of the circle, that's actually going to be safe. Now, Loki's looking for something to use. Griffin finds infantry out of the frying pan into the fire, and down they go. 9 is going to get a twofer.
And because they just had a fight, but without the knock GEX, I think they wanted to pressure a little bit more from that northern side. As if they do hear them, they're about to run away.
I think this is going to be a pretty big gut check moment for infantry. It is bullying out on his own here. Leo's pushing hard. GEX knows they have to take a fight because they are outside of the circle, and it's going to push them in very quickly. And it's phase 4, the blue tickles. Oh, up and over!
Oh,
Leo.
Pretty good reaction. That was great play by the teammates using those vehicles to delete your foot sound.
Yeah, really nice job there, and Leo just barely able to outdo bullying. No easy task, no doubt. Pio is very, very hurt. He's going to go, nope, never mind. That's going to be M200 who's going to put him on the ground once again, and another knock into Pio, and I don't think Loki has any hope in the world of getting to this one. So Gen G might just go out of it, although with Loki, you never know. He's a very good snake, one of the best in the world at doing that. We see it all the time. Mamu now trying to hold on his own against New Happy. New Happy storming in. Long DD out. Mamu finds a corner, finds one, finds 2!
Oh, that might actually be 2 points for him.
He's trying to get it. He isn't able to control it enough to finish it. It's actually going to be Godby.
Godby?
4AM finishes that one. The poor guy, Mamu, does all the hard work, and it's going to be 4AM who makes him pay for it.
So New Happy actually, they are going to be getting those res, and Loki in that blue will go down. Tianba not really being able to pressure them out of the circle too much as they still have to go rotate in.
Yeah, it's definitely not the Miramar, the start to the day that you wanted to see for Gen G if you're a fan of them. Yanli doing a good job. Longsker going to be knocked. This is really interesting stuff. Infantry bit off a little bit more than they could chew, and now GEX is really making them pay for it. 9 here trying to see if he can get Yan Li, see if he can avenge his fallen teammates, as now it's just him, the sole survivor. Throwables exploding around him, but he's dodging those pretty well. Yan Li going for another one. That one's going to come up short. As 9 continues to dance around, seeing if he can catch anyone.
As long as 9 takes care of Yan Li from the side, and Entus actually helps him out in big time. So 9 might actually be safe. OPG will also look to pressure into Ifty if he gets a chance.
Look at Entus. They're coming up from their spot. They're reaching out for these kills. They're not going to get there just in time, but they do find a knock on a Hansia on the other side. So at the end of the day, I like what we're seeing from Entus. Now, if they can get back to their position, if they didn't overextend, then this is fantastic. Indigo does finish the point onto Hansia there. So Mao Ye, he's going for the heals, but this is, again, a blue that hurts a lot. He's just trying to see if he can get a cheeky point before he goes down. And at this point, he's surrendering, trying to see if he can shoot his own grenade out of the air. You can shoot the grenades in the air. If you hit him with a bullet, they do land. But he isn't able to do it, and that is going to be GEX doing a great job against infantry in the fight, but the blue is too much to handle. VLG now makes a rotation, a dangerous one into the center of the circle. Godby finds the knocks. Poly steals the point.
Yeah, that was a pretty good, risky, but pretty good decision-making by VLG. If they had the full squad going into that small dip right there, I think they could have been okay for the next few upcoming circles. They were going to be challenged by MCG, but not in the next few minutes. So, yeah, big rotation, well made, just loses a member. I don't think that's too bad, just losing Spear there.
Yeah, and now we are pretty well centered on top of this field that we kind of bemoaned earlier that we didn't want to see, but here it is. That's the situation we found ourselves. Sun Sisters can continue to hold down their compound. Tianba is forced into the fields trying to use the hay bales and the other shacks that are in there, and that's going to send MCG on their backside because there isn't anything else that MCG sees in front of them that's available.
MCG right now is trying to get another knock. They know exactly where Tianba is, so they're trying to push to the next line and even go into VLG. So they have to make a decision soon enough. I think they will just choose to rotate towards the eastern side. Against 4 AM, there's no way. And VLG's already had that big dip set up.
All right, it looks like New Happy's making a move now. You can see Lycanon on the top of your screen diving towards the center of this. There isn't many other options for NH because their compound has left the circle. They have to try to find something inside of the field and see if they can make it work with some vehicles, some smokes, and the like. Now, Godv does get down behind the haystack himself. MCG keeping players up on top of this hill as long as they can, sending Lingdu out to try to hold the flank against Tianba, keep them off their backs a little bit. VLG is kind of pinned down on this side of this hill. There's no way they're really much of a threat, most likely for MCG, unless some weird stuff happens. Yeah,
we're not going to see any kind of big rotations coming out too much, except for the teams coming down from somewhat of a high hill from that northern side, as this is a wide open area, basically an open field for a lot of these teams.
Woo! Kendes, I don't know what was going on there, but that was a good shot. Woo! I don't care who it was. I thought it might have been Godv there for a second, but no, as Kendes understeals it for all the hard work that he did with that really nice sniping. And it is more center, more fields on top of this, and VLG, you can see everybody is pushing their fire into them. 4 AM still has a little bit of their compound in. OPGG, they're stuck in that shack, but it is no longer in this next circle.
They have to wait for Sun Sisters to actually get those kills coming from Entus. Entus is not going to let them do anything else. Just keep them in the small trap. Might actually go for the push if Ender has some more time, and he does not have another. I think that was the last smoke that he had.
I mean, Under's setting up to just do everything he can to keep OPGG pinned, do as much damage to them as possible, and probably pick up a point or two along the way. Now MCG has no choice but to try to go into the field. Tianba is making their rotation ahead of it, so it's going to be first up Tianba. They're going to be able to set up, and MCG as well gets in without taking a whole bunch of damage right away, and Tianba is getting ripped apart.
Yeah, but because you have so many teams from so many different angles, even if you go in, unless you have 2 vehicles blocking the entire side, you're not going to be safe. You're going to be knocked so many times. Even if you're in the smoke, a lot of these teams will just spray down bullets, making sure you are not safe in there. Once they get the knock, they will push you in immediately.
Dude, right now, watching the map is like looking at a plaid-colored shirt. Like, all of the lines are just crisscrossing all over the place. It is absolute chaos right now as everybody is struggling to find safe entry. OPGG can't get it done with that initial push. There's still Dumbo on the back as kind of a safety valve. He's going to make a go for it, but I don't know what else he can do. 4 AM is going to take him, and it's going to be Lycanon, in fact, with some help from 4 AM.
Yeah,
that's OPGG out 9.
Yeah, too bad for OPGG, but they had to make that drop. Now, Entus big entry into Sun Sisters. And Crazy Sam does have the nade to go down with it, so getting that damage. Sungjiang finishing the kill.
Yeah, that was a little unfortunate there for Crazy Sam. A fantastic player, but a bit of a misstep there. It's going to have his own grenade in his face, blow him up. Now Kendes, Faye, and Polly trying to regroup, see if they can hold down this push from one of the best in the business. Kale is getting the res onto Indigo. Indigo going right for that heal. Under is up in front. Under's your frontline fragger for Entus. He is so good at it. One of the best in the business. He does spot Kendes. Grenade is going to be in. Doesn't connect on any members of Sun Sister. Meanwhile, Euphoria making their entrance on the west side. Good grenade!
What a nade! Takes the entire team of New Happy down in a single nade. Godv.
Wow, these grenades we've been seeing so far this tournament, G-Clef, absolutely crazy good. Now they're using the exposed roof. This is so smart from Entus. There's stuns, there's mollies, there's everything, pouring it on top of Sun Sister.
Please.
But so far, Sun Sister's weathering this really well. They haven't taken a lot of damage. They've got Polly on the anchor covering this entrance.
Yeah, that small, I guess, storage. There are some space you can actually go on top of those small boxes, so you can actually keep up without taking too much damage from the molly. Yeah, and at the same time, Entus actually going for stealing those kills away from Afrika.
Yeah, Entus is just shooting at everything. I mean, they are feeling so much confidence. All right, this might be the push now. Under, the stun is in and up around the corner, but he isn't able to get 2. It's going to be Kendes standing up. He's trying to get in there. Indigo comes around the corner. we're going to do this. Poly tries to push in, but isn't able to get there in time to save his teammates. He's going for the frag. All of Entus is stuck inside of here. Poly could bounce one off the corner. He just falls short. Isn't going to be able to get anything. And Entus, somehow, some way, is going to be able to get 4 up, it looks like.
Only with the knocks, Poly had to just fall back and run away from that many nades just falling in, as Entus still with the entire squad. That's amazing. That's an amazing slow push, making sure the Afrika was away from that eastern side. They did bring them down with Tianba and also help with the MCG. So that they're still alive with the full squad. And depending on how quickly they can push onto Poly, they might be able to come into the next circle.
Ooh.
Godby.
Oh my god.
Godby.
Oh my god. Godby is taking over right now. We saw it in game number 2 with Forever. Now it's going to be Godby stepping up for 4AM. MCG torn apart between their own grenades and Tianba. They go down in 6th place. How is Tianba still in this round? I thought they might have gone down a long time ago, but they're able to set up enough underneath the awning in the field, but they have to move forward, and they're going to set it down. Under actually gets off that vehicle a little too early. Sungjong goes down from Godby. Godby is firing on all cylinders. He is tearing through this lobby.
Yeah, Entus, right after getting Poly down, Indigo did go down in that trade. So immediately after looking at the kill feed, okay, this has to be the moment they will be healing up after that many shots being fired. Immediate rotational choice. I like the timing, but of course in this open field, they cannot just move out.
5 kills for Godby already, and that's gonna finish it. Hikari goes down. The 4 angry men get their first win here at PCS3 Asia. We were wondering where they were on the first day, G-Clef. Well, they've showed up to play on day number 2.
And Godby, oftentimes there were a lot of criticism because he would overextend oftentimes, and going down in a knock forces a lot of his teammates to come in and save him instead of just going in with a 3-man squad. Oftentimes they had to come for the save, which actually screwed a lot of their rotational play. But this time he comes clutch. That's the guy on the screen on the right side. That's Godby with those nades and the shots.
And VLG in 2nd place there, they don't want to give any more points up to 4AM. I mean, we saw that video during the break. There's quite the rivalry that has developed between these two teams. They know full well who this is.
Yeah.